Support for WYES is made possible by Mary Lou Kristovich in memory of her husband, William Kristovich.
Good evening, I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, Poppy Tooker, host of the WWNO radio program, Louisiana Eats, airing twice weekly on that station, but Poppy show all the way. Playwright Rob Florence, here to discuss his play with music, The Holy Wars, brand new, and we'll have members of the cast performing 2 songs from the show tonight. Welcome. It's great to see you. And also, of course, Mr. Theater Critic himself, Alan Smason, editor of the Crescent City Jewish News. But as usual, first up, Miss Poppy.
Well, first of all, if you have not yet been to DTB, which stands for Down the Bayou, which is actually down over on Oak Street, darling, then you ought to go to DTB because the food rocks. And my news today is that they have a new brunch schedule over there, which is really unusual. It's Friday through Monday, 10:30 to 2, except for Sunday when you can have brunch until 4, which is really great. They did this the Friday and the Sunday late because of hospitality folks. You know, people who work in restaurants, they like to have brunch too. So that's their thought process behind that. And of course, yes.
Now, I was just going to say, it's such a comfortable restaurant. And
Oh,
it's so pretty.
beautiful.
And I'm a boothaholic. I love booths.
Well, and the
And it's just
food
really comfortable.
rocks.
And of course, the food. Okay.
You know,
and
and
it used to be Woolworths. Those of us of a certain age
Isn't that
may remember
funny?
that it was the Woolsworth, right? As we say. No, on Oak Street. And then it was a dollar store, more recent past.
And right next door is Simone's Market, which is another place that if you haven't been, the food is great and for takeout and such. But anyway, Lou Brow is the mixologist at DTB. She's designed some new drinks for this wonderful brunch, and she's got a Dude's Delight, and we've got a picture of an Oak Street Spritz, which looks really great. And of course, the chef is Carl Schabhut, who everybody knows from Commanders, etc. His food, oh my gosh, blue crab toast, crawfish pie Benedict, crispy oyster croque madame, fried chicken and biscuits. How about some fried cornbread? I thought that was really, and look at that. I'm ready for that. And I want the ricotta frittata, which is what that picture is of. So anyway, go have brunch. It's great. And then, who would know? It's National Wine Day next Thursday, May 25th, which also is a kickoff of the Nalfi weekend, and that's the night of the Nalfi wine dinners. Well, Freemark Abbey Winery is going to be at NOLA Restaurant with an incredible menu. Seared cobia, baby arugula, preserved peach wholesome glaze, beef carpaccio with cocoa nibs and pistachio blackberry gastrique. Are you hungry yet? The entree is a braised pork shank with a cranberry and walnut watercress salad. But unusual for me, I can't wait for dessert. Dessert is blue cheese flan with black pepper caramel, roasted grapes, and toasted walnuts. Doesn't that sound fascinating? So that's Thursday night only. And then if I have, shall we say, whetted your appetite, it's time to talk about wetting your goozle with a little bit of wine at the New Orleans Food and Wine Experience coming up next week. If you have never done that Friday night Royal Street stroll, it is such a fun time on Royal Street. And of course, the best event of the whole weekend in my book is the incredible grand tasting. And they've got news this year because the grand tasting for the first time is at Mardi Gras World. So new location.
Oh, that is a new location.
Yeah, because we've been, once it was in the Superdome, it was in the Convention Center, now it's at Mardi Gras World.
Well, that's just down the block from the Convention Center, isn't it? Okay.
But there are still serving that night 1,000 wines, and there'll be 75 chefs chefs and food purveyors. So it is such...
And parking's right there.
Yeah, and the tickets are like $120 or something. It is such a deal for such a fabulous evening out, especially if you're a wine lover.
Especially. Thank you, Poppy.
Thanks, Peg.
And New Orleans Magazine's quiz queen, Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time, Jake Stone named 3 New Orleans streetcar lines on which red streetcars ride. You could have said Canal Street, Riverfront, Loyola, or Rampart Street in St. Claude. Now, tonight's question. Okay, inspired by Bayou St. John as the setting for this weekend's Bayou Boogaloo, this Voodoo Day is celebrated every year on Bayou St. John. What is the day, and what landmark is the ceremony held in? Okay, email your answers to steppinout@wys.org. Our prize is a year's subscription to Louisiana Life magazine and a $50 gift certificate from our friends at Kitchen Witch Cookbooks on Bayou Road, and they have Taco Tuesdays from 3 to 7 now, too. Check it out. Visit WYS.org for our online calendar to see our lineup of events, including details on the Boogaloo, which kicked off this evening and continues through the weekend. You can also link to our WYS YouTube channel to view our program. And, you know, before we visit with Rob to discuss his new play, Holy Wars, tonight we have cast members Rick Trolsen on trombone, Bruce Sunpie Barnes on accordion and vocals, along with guitarist Matt Hampsey. First up, the 19th century French Creole ballad, En avant grenadier, meaning go forward, soldier. Let's take a look.
En avant grenadier, sacré marine paration. En avant grenadier, sacré marine ton pripouillé. En avant grenadier, sacré marine paration. En avant grenadier, sacré marine ton pripouillé. Tra la 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 la. Tra la 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 la. Tra la 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 la. Tra la 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 la.
And Rob, that is just part of your illustrious band cast. You've got Helen Gillette, and it's really something who you have on this cast, huh?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, this band, and by the way, this at this point in time, this is just about the music. The play will be in 2018, and there's so much history behind every song.
Quickly, the premise, though, what the setup
premise,
of this. Okay.
It's about the Father Claude Pascal Maestri, who founded St. Rose of Lima Parish. He was the only abolitionist priest in the New Orleans Archdiocese in the Civil War era, and the first black Civil War hero in the history of the United States, Andre Caillou, as well as the Louisiana Native Guard, early civil rights publishing by the Rudinez brothers, and in several other epic, historic subjects.
Now, the music, though, comes from, there's, of course, a lot of original music, but it's coming from folk ballads. It's quite the combination, isn't it?
It really is. It's very eclectic, which is why we have this band that can just do everything. Yeah. And I want to start by saying that this was the idea of the great Harold Brown, who founded the band War. Many years ago, he said to me, when you write your Andre Caillou play, I'm going to score it. And I said, wow, that's fantastic. And then Harold actually he got flooded out in Katrina and never moved back, and he scored some of it, which is why Sunpie came in, Harold's right-hand man, and Bill Summers, who has done so much, but he also has tremendous film and television scoring experience, so that's who scored it. But then the band, all of these people, and then some other musicians who aren't in the live band, including Tom McDermott, Evan Christopher, Carl LeBlanc, Eric Lucero. I mean, it's a crazy New Orleans band.
And so excited because you have 2 performances. You have a total of 4, but with what we're most immediately, we've got 2, and then one more has been added too. Tell us about that.
That's correct. Cafe Istanbul. After Bayou Boogaloo is...
Well, let's go in our chronological order here. So Saturday and then
backwards.
Sunday. let's go Saturday and Sunday.
All right.
Okay.
So Saturday, 2 p.m. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. at the Park Service, the National Jazz Historical Park, and that's free. Sunday, Bayou Boogaloo, 6 p.m. They will be closing out the Domain Street stage.
Yeah, right on Domain by the Bayou.
I'm telling you, it is going to be phenomenal.
But you added one, so you've got.
Correct.
Tell us the additional one.
Cafe Istanbul, 10:30-ish New Orleans time.
Sunday. New Orleans time. That's
subsequent to Bayou Boogaloo.
Now let's talk about you, because I've known you for a while and you've worn many hats. But you were a park ranger.
That's correct. That's how I met Sunpie decades ago.
Exactly. But I was also an author of a book on cemeteries, which is one of my favorite books on cemeteries. But then you played Brick in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, so actor, playwright. You write your own stuff. A busy bee.
Well, the Tennessee Williams Festival has been very good to me because I am I don't act anymore, but I've done the 3 great male roles of Williams canon. Brick, Stanley, and the hillbilly heckler in Sweet Bread of Youth. So watch out, I might heckle you. Hey, Boss Finley.
Yeah, to be a park ranger, especially in New Orleans, people don't realize there's a little bit, urban and then beyond, because where were you based? Were you in the quarter?
In the French Quarter.
In the unit down there.
But I did work at Barataria and also volunteered. And at that time, they had the only water hyacinth harvester in the world, which is a machine that would pick water hyacinth up off of the bayou and put it onto the bank. And it's kind of swimming upstream, but
it's really very rare for a major, urban area to have a park, the use of the park service within New Orleans and then right outside.
That's true, and if people have not been to the Barataria unit of Jean Lafitte National Park, you should go there immediately. It is magnificent.
And lots of free jazz performances downtown in the quarter, right
the
by
National
Dutch
Jazz
Alley.
Historical Park, right. And then the U.S. Mint, which is where the Holy Warriors will be playing tomorrow at 2 p.m., which is a magnificent state-of-the-art soundstage and recording studio, and if people haven't been there, it's the 3rd floor of the Mint, and
it is really magnificent. And the acoustics, a lot of care was taken for the great
Bruce
acoustics.
Barnes, Sunpie, was responsible for that.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yep. I mean, of his many skills, he's also an amazing bureaucrat. He is. He dotted his T's and crossed his I's, and right now Matt Hampsey basically manages that, and that's there's nothing like that within this region. I mean, you've been there, right?
No, I know. It's really a gift to the city. A lot of people don't even realize it, too, So, but anyway, we're glad you're here, and congratulations on your new work. And it's sort of a work in progress, as you said. Right now, you all are focusing on the music, but you're working on the script, and so it's sort of a multi-aspect project here.
It really is. It's multidisciplinary, and we're working on it. But right now, it's about the music and all of these phenomenal people. And just to go down the roster again, Sunpie, Helen Gillet, Matt Hampsey, Calvin Johnson, James Singleton, Bill Summers, Rick Trolsen, and Cole Williams. When are you going to see those 8 musicians together after this weekend?
What about Facebook or website? Any more information?
Yes, holywar.site and Facebook /A Caillou.
Okay, got that. Okay, CAILLOUX. Okay.
And then this is at Louisiana Music Factory.
Okay, yes, we'll take a little bit more detail on that a little later.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
Good. Thank you. But now we are so fortunate because once again we have a song from the Holy Wars. This one is called Sunpie's Dirge.
ashes to ashes, and dust to dust. You better straighten up before you come see us. You better get your life together. Next time you see us, it's too late to cry. We are the North Side, old skull and bone gang. We come to remind you before you die. You better get your life together. Next time you see us, it's too late to cry. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust, sir. You better straighten up before you come see us. You better get your life together. Next time you see us, it's too late to cry. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. You better straighten up before you come see us. You better get your life together. Next time you see us, it's too late to cry. We are the North Side, old skull and bone gang. We come to remind you before you die. You better get your life together. Next time you see us, it's too late to cry.
And once again, you can catch performances of the play Saturday at 2 p.m. at the U.S. Mint, Sunday at 6 p.m. at the Bayou Boogaloo on the Domain Street stage, and then that night at Cafe Istanbul. Now it's time for our Artist Spotlight. Tonight we are featuring images from Holy Name of Jesus Catholic Church, celebrating its 125th anniversary next week. Designed in 1914 on Loyola University's campus, the church reflects 15th century Tudor Gothic style. 14 clustered pillows support low and wide 4-centered pointed arches to reflect the design of Loyola's campus, modeled after Oxford in England. Mr. and Mrs. Hugh McCloskey donated Jesus Walking on Water, created by John Morgan and Sons in New York. And the adjacent panel depicts Peter pleading for deliverance from the storm. All of the windows in the church are framed in stone, and they are triplet lancet windows, which was invented in 13th century France and point upward like a lance. The St. Louis art glass studio of Emile Fry, very, very well known and respected, created another window donated by the heirs of Francis Denishaw. It depicts Jesuit saints Ignatius Loyola and Francis Xavier, who were all surrounded by little angels, and one of them depicting the image of Charles Denishaw Sr. as he appeared as a small child. Look at this, so precious. And we also have the pulpit canopy, painted in the symbol of the Holy Spirit. The 125th anniversary celebration starts next Wednesday with an historical and architectural presentation by Bill and Sally Reeves at 7 p.m. with light refreshments. Then on Sunday, May 28th at 10:30 a.m., Archbishop Gregory Amen presides over a mass of celebration with a special blessing for all who were married there, a reception to follow at the Dana Student Center. RSVP if you can by Monday, May 22nd by phone or email. And now, Alan.
And I guess I have to ask, are they cherubim or are they seraphim? The little angels.
Aren't the cherubim the tinier ones?
I don't know.
Double check
I don't know.
that.
We have to check.
Right. It's a good question.
So
They might be off on him.
Oh, okay. We have to check.
That was Anne Rice's license plate.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, I
Good
want to
point.
let everybody know, I caught Ain't Misbehavin', the Fats Waller musical that's over at the BB Stage Door Canteen of the National World War II Museum 2 weekends in a row. Now, the first time I did it for review, we were hoping to do the review last week. We weren't able to get it it in. But I went back for Mother's Day, and it was great. A wonderful opportunity. And again, Father's Day is coming up, so I want to remind everybody about that. This production has a cast of 5 performers and a live orchestra. Really, really very good from start to finish. One of the reasons that this production is so good is Jarrell Hamilton, who's a choreographer. She's won a couple of Big Easy awards for choreography for classical works. She gets to strut her stuff and sing in this production, and some of you may remember some of her doing her work in Jelly's Last Jam, which was at Le Petit. Also, another Le Petit player is Jessica Mixon, who played the leading player in Pippin as well. And she was in Sister Act, if you remember, JPAS. Terrific performers. And Polanco Jones Jr. and Erica Fox also round out the cast, as well as Lawrence Weber Jr., who's really in his first lead vehicle. He plays Fats Waller and showed significant signs from the first week when he was a little nervous to being more relaxed this last week. He was great getting into that role. He's a real find for Victoria Reed and the entertainment staff of the National World War II Museum. Although his back is to us for most of the performance, Harry Marone helps us bring back the true star of the musical, who is Fats Waller. This is all about the music of Fats Waller. You know, he died at the age of 39, but oh my God, what an amazing repertoire he had. And Harry, of course, leads a great quintet of bass, drums, trumpet, trombone, and reed players. Also, a shout out to Heidi Molnar, who co-directed this piece with Victoria, and Tom Hook, who served as the music director. Several of the costumes, by the way, which you just saw, were rented, but Victoria Reed also worked on some of these original pieces herself. And this is, again, a great show. Father's Day, whenever, go out and take a look at it. And you'll enjoy the music most of all. Ain't Misbehaving, Honeysuckle Rose, The Joint Is Jumpin'. I'm going to sit down and write myself a letter. And also, It's a Sin to Tell a Lie, some of the favorites that he did. So Ain't Misbehaving runs through June the 25th at BB Stage Door Canteen. Now, many of us do remember Bodega Bay. That was the scene, the setting for Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds that starred Tippi Hedren, remember? Well, a lot of us don't know that that was a short story that was written essentially by Daphne du Maurier, who also wrote Jamaica Inn and Rebecca, 2 of Hitchcock's other well-known films. Conor McPherson wrote an adaptation of The Birds that premiered in 2009 in Ireland, and he distilled that down into just 4 characters who find themselves in a farmhouse taking refuge from the attacks. So Broken Habit and Two Ducks Productions are putting this show on at the theater at St. Claude, which is directed, of course, by Jim Fitzmaurice and stars Catherine Talbot and Shane Lecoq as Diane and Nat. Now, the life and death struggle that they try to scavenge for food is really dictated. It's a very small, intimate set that you actually are part of. You sit in the round, and they play into your space. Again, tremendous sound design by Claire Marie Nemenich, too. I just want to mention that. The balance between those two, however, is shattered when another younger and more ambitious woman comes onto the scene. She's played by Ashton Ackridge. She uses her wily feminine charms to put a wedge between the two. And of course, you can imagine there's birds outside, but there's a cat fight going on inside. Craig Lydicker also has a very small featured role in this really immersive set. Again, I remind everybody, it has David Raffel inspired works as well with Jim Fitzmaurice. It plays until May the 27th. Meanwhile, See 'Em on Stage Productions took the wraps off of their season 5, and this was just this past Monday. This is the company, of course, that made Splatter Zone so popular in New Orleans. If you remember Evil Dead the musical and others. Well, they're going to start off with Shakespeare's bloodiest work, and that would, of course, be Titus Andronicus, the play where 10 of the named characters die, marked by amputations, rapes, and all sorts of other wonderful things. The basic play is, of course, one that is in the lexicon for Shakespeare. Everybody knows it, but again, really, really bloody, and of course, perfect for what See 'Em on Stage want to do. They follow that with a 2005 off-Broadway play that they're going to be doing here regionally for Thrill Me, which is a regional premiere about the Leopold and Loeb murder of the teenage boy in the 1920s. Also, they're going to follow that up with The Wiz. This will be a regional premiere for us, as well as American Idiot, the rock musical that was a Tony Award winner, featuring the music of Green Day, and then Edward Albee's At Home at the Zoo, which is basically an expansion of his The Zoo play that he did a one-act. So we also want to let you know there is a blood drive going on for Adele Gautier, also known as Adela the Storyteller. She's having this run on Monday with the Oshner people, one of our great local actors, all kinds of blood donations. You don't necessarily have to have a particular blood type. They're taking it. Here she is with Martin Batts Bradford from the recent production in Anthony Bean Theater of Measure for Measure. Again, I would love to just urge people to go.
That's right off Broad near St. Rose de Lima.
It's going to be Community Book Center, right? And it's by a Kitchenwich too, I guess.
Yes, it is.
And finally, I just wanted to make mention of something else. That's the Birdfoot 6th Annual Festival they're going to be having for classical music. They do all kinds of things. Wonderful. Go to their site, birdfootfestival.org, and we have a link here which will take you directly to where you can find out about all the events there.
Thank you so much. Poppy, picks.
Well, first of all, tomorrow night, Roaring Twenties party at SoFab. Sounds like a lot of fun. It's a fundraiser for the museum, 8 o'clock. And Tuesday night, the Mud Bug Brewery dinner at Cafe B. It's going to be 4 crawfish courses with beers for just $55.
That is a good deal.
That's a good deal.
Rob, so you actually already have your CD out. Let's see, pick it up and let's just show it for a second. A lot of the music from the show that we can look forward to. And where is it available?
Louisiana Music Factory and at the shows.
All right, okay. Alan.
And just prior to their production of Father Comes Home from the Wars Parts 1, 2, and 3, Southern Rep Theater is going to be having their gala, and that's going to be at the Audubon Tea Room on May the 24th. That's coming up on Wednesday. I urge everyone to help support Southern Rep.
Sounds good. And my picks, Beth's Friends Forever, a local organization that helps to support local female cancer victims, will hold their annual charitable bike ride. Beth's Friends Fondue, Gears for Gals. It's this Sunday at Armstrong Park. It starts at 7:30 a.m. Registration online. And also on Sunday, the Metropolitan Opera's local support group, Amici, presents a film presentation of Great Voices Sing John Denver at 1:30 p.m. in Unmaker Hall at Loyola University. The group raises money to assist local Met finalists to go to New York for their finals. And John T. Edge will sign his book, Pot Liquor Papers, A Food History of the Modern South, following a conversation with the Picayune's Brett Anderson. That should be interesting. At Garden District Bookshop next Thursday evening. And because I think a lot of people would like to know what Brett Anderson looks like, don't you think?
Yes.
Especially folks in the food industry. Anyway,
Absolutely.
thank you all so much, and thank you very much for watching. Good night.